So, in my late teens and early 20s, I used to believe that I had to work very hard for life. Uh, to be right was also a belief I held, that there was something wrong with me. And I'm very lucky to have found what I feel is a natural way to life. And that is what I want to share with you today. You know, life can be chaotic as humans, especially in today's day and age. You might feel that. You might have beliefs of stress or beliefs that make you stress. You might be watching a lot of YouTube. You might be worrying about your future if you're young, you know. And that is all very valid at some point, because we gotta confront those beliefs, right? But what happens? What happens when we come back to ourselves, right? And remember a time when things were much more easy. You know, many of us, many of you have been blessed. Let's wait till the train passes. This is what I mean, right? This adds, look around, it's nature. It's fields and then all of a sudden just a train. I mean, come on. What are you doing? Who came up with that? So, now that that is gone and you're still here, hopefully, we remember a time when life was much more easier. And this should all be just very intuitive for you. You know, remembering that. And what do I mean? Childhood. I wanted to say before the train came that many of us in this day and age have been blessed with a very wonderful childhood. Myself included. I had a very, very wondrous childhood. And then again, conditioning happened, school and all of that. But when we remember that, we see that there is a rhythm to life, a rhythm to ourselves, you know, a rhythm to our beingness, our soul, and that is what I am actually now coming back to. My own rhythm. With stillness, you know. With overstimulation, we all just try a lot to feel a certain way. With societal programming, I feel like there is a lot of neediness. Again, in the beginning, in the beginning of the video, I said that I used to think that you have to be a certain way, and all of this, and feel a certain way around this and that, and there's a certain type of neediness, you know, that comes from these societal beliefs, and then even your own emotional world becomes all twisted and turned, and in many ways very unhealthy, you know. And to come out of that neediness and emotional turmoil, again, we come back to our own rhythm. And how does that look like? You know, many of you might now be wondering, he's talking about this beautiful rhythm, Where is the rhythm now? Well, practical tips. I'm giving you them now. So, what can we do? And it's very simple. You might be, when I tell you this, might be wondering, is it really that simple? I used to think, can it really be that simple? But because it is that simple, it actually makes a lot of sense. And you will see it. Simplicity is key. So, don't want to keep you waiting. It's silence and presence. You know, many of you have probably heard that. Many of you have probably been meditating if you are on a spiritual path, or you do your work with yourself, whatever. And it's similar to that. But presence and awareness is really noticing the knots throughout your day. And this can just be easy and allowed, you know. We don't want to get into a process, although you might say it's a process, but then we start off seeing what really serves us. Take an inventory. You know, this is something you can do if you really want something. You know, you take an inventory. Look at your life. What is going on right now? What are the things that are currently appearing in my reality? How do I feel? Do I feel stressed? Do I feel anxious? And see what makes you feel that way, and then try to eliminate it. You know, it might be eating the wrong kinds of food. You might be feeling great, then you eat something, and then all of a sudden you feel a bit not so great afterwards. Might change your diet. It's an example, you know. Other things, you know, this is, again, many people get caught up in this overstimulation of mass media. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you might really just get gone from these apps, from these websites. You know, I haven't had Instagram and TikTok for like 5 years, and my life is very great without them. You know, and then things start to happen. You know, as you shift from taking your energy back into yourself, right? You then naturally start to become curious at life again. Relationships seem different. You don't cling anymore. You're not needy no more. You don't try to impress anybody. You just come off as a genuine being because you see that there was no need to ever be anything but yourself. And that is always enough. And that is always enough. And you know, when that starts to happen, life might actually turn out more the way you want it to be, you know. For me it has seemed that way since I started really applying these wisdom things. I don't want to call it a teaching, because it's just being aware, being present with yourself, and choosing to take responsibility of your own energy and how life feels for you. But again, things actually become much easier when you just take your time, and when you're stressed, you just take your time, sit on a bench like I do. You go for a walk with my shoes. Can you see my shoe? You can't see my shoe. Sometimes I don't wear shoes. That you can do as well. Go in the forest barefoot, go grounding. There's no need to do anything. And when you release all of that, then you're actually gonna be filled with beautiful energy to create the life you really want to create. Then you're gonna be, yeah, back with yourself. And actually life might start to feel the way it did when you were a child. You know? For me it is that way currently. The more and more I do this, the more and more I let go. Life just becomes more exciting. Yeah. So, to wrap things up, so you don't forget, when you feel that life feels a bit off, stressed, you're tired or whatnot, there's nothing wrong with you. You just see that then, take responsibility for it. You come back to your presence, your awareness, and you choose something different. And then you let go. You allow yourself to live. You allow yourself to be with the flow of life. You know? So, yeah, thank you for watching. If you like the video, feel free to leave a like, a subscription, and a comment down below. And share, share with anyone that wants to listen to this, or you might think that can benefit from this. It's a bit of wisdom here on my channel. Just being free. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you.